Maneva na sema PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV de osia dem yopo.
You are most welcome to PENDREAM TV, the only channel that brings you the best and latest updates in politics. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell for more updates, like and also share to other members to watch as well. You can also leave a comment after watching or send us a voice note on our WhatsApp number, which is 0277128777. Thank you. Today, BOT has also taken upon himself to educate the EC officials, especially Mensah and cohorts, on the 1992 Constitution, telling them what they need to know to guide their destiny. Maybe they don't know, that's why they are misbehaving, especially under this Nanado administration, which he also let them know that there is a difference between independent and autonomous. They be independent doesn't mean they are autonomous, so they can do anything without the consent of the people. He also tagged Mensah as somebody who is arrogant and doesn't listen to anything. And it's true that the woman is arrogant. It's like it's having a backup, so it's having something backing her. So she doesn't even fear or panic about what is going on, whether we are about to suffer or about to die. What she is interested is to appreciate his paymaster, which is not good. Yes, it's not good. You can also leave a comment if you see her behavior as good or not. You can leave a suggestion after watching. Please join me listening to what he said into detail. Thank you.
It was my colleague Stanley Kwamla Aku. He filed that particular report earlier today. But now the National Democratic Congress, as I said earlier, has reached an agreement with the Ghana Police Service over their planned demonstration that is scheduled for September 17, 2024. Today, they were at the police, headquarters for such negotiations. Fifi Kwete is the General Secretary of the National Democratic Congress. Let's listen to him.
Had a very good meeting with the regional police bosses. And the agreement is that we are going to proceed with our demonstration on the 17th of this month. That's next Tuesday. And it's going to happen not just in Greater Accra, but in all the other regions of the country at the same time. We wanted to have a confirmation about the endpoint. In terms of the routes, we had an agreement that we're going to start from the Kwame Nkrumah Circle, proceed through to Farisco, continue through TUC, continue through the ministries and come all the way to Parliament, and then end up in front of the premises of the Electoral Commission. We wanted to have the exact location. That's why we came in the police to come and see exactly where it is we wanted to have the termination point, and we've been able to agree on that as well. Generally, in terms of the importance of this demonstration, is to say that it is something that is beyond the NDC. It's a critical election ahead of Ghana. It is in everybody's interest to ensure that especially the register that's going to be in the center of this whole election is credible. It's one that everybody can have absolute confidence in. We've had clear instances to say that there are issues, and we are pressing for forensic audit to be done, and that actually is the reason why we want to embark on this demonstration. The NCO just rightly said, if there's really nothing to hide, then there should really be no problem at all. You should be able to open your door and say, listen, come and check and be certain that there's nothing, in order for the whole country to proceed knowing that everything is okay. So generally, that's what it is. We are asking the whole of the country to join this demonstration. It's critical for our peace. It's critical for our the very safety of our elections, to ensure that this country is able to go through election and come out.
Secretary of the National Democratic Congress in person of Honorable Fifi Kwete. I've been joined in the studio by Bernard Odro Techi, popularly known as BOT. He's a chartered economist and a member of the National Democratic Congress. BOT, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It's been a while.
Thanks for having me here. Let me say congratulations to my brother, lawyer, for getting the note to be a running mate for Movement for Change. There is an indication that the young people can play a role in the bigger political landscape. In as much as he is not in my party, I must acknowledge that for at his age and for him to be recognized by merits. There is not like his father was one Damkwa or Dombo or Buzia. No.
Right.
There is somebody who has worked his way out through broadcast journalism, activism, advocacy. And I watched Alan, filing today.
Right.
And the premises which he used to choose him as a running mate. I want to urge him not to disappoint the young people of this country. There are many young people who got a chance to serve in some portfolio, and they became the element why young people will not do politics. Kwame's nomination to be running mate should rather serve as a turning point for young people of Ghana to say that because of him, I would love to do politics. I wish him the best of luck. I wish him to be part of, still work around and vote for John Dramani Mahama. We're not going to go run off. It will be one touch. Whilst I wish him the best, though, to be a shining star for the young people, he shouldn't forget that they are going to play a key role when the NDC comes to power.
You've been here on countless occasions.
Sure.
Have you had any personal encounter with lawyer Kwame Osudanso?
I appeared once on his show, but then it was hosted by a different person. But I've monitored him on several media platforms. For me, good is good, bad is bad. It doesn't matter whether he isn't in my party.
Right.
One, there's a virtue recognizes. Gold is gold, no matter where you put it. It's rather he should have rather transitioned to join me under the umbrella. Today is a rainy season. It's raining all over. Everybody wants the umbrella.
Right.
Why will Kwame choose to go under the butterfly that can die within 3 months? That's my only bone of contention. My only contention with Kwame is the butterfly has a short lifespan, but the umbrella, whether rain or shiny, the umbrella. So after the victory of John Dramani on the NDC, he must come back home. Kwame needs to be part of the umbrella family. So I haven't had a personal touch with him, but for him as a young person, he resonates what we NDC represent. Because we are thinking of creating youth development ministry to cater for the interest. And don't forget that we are the only party that launched the youth manifesto called the Pledge. So Kwame nomination to be the running mate is in sync with what we the NDC believe in. I wish him the best, devoid of NDC and PP staff, is represent the interests of young people. Like today, the Ghana Bar Association elected the first female president, one Madam Gate. It's going to happen 7 December. Ghanaians will elect the first female vice president. So it's going to repeat itself. Ghana Bar Association elected first female president, and everybody is happy. In similar vein, on 7 December, Ghanaians will elect the first female vice president, the name of Professor Jinano Opoku-Agyeman. But I wish Kwame the best of luck.
Right. You all claim, especially the National Democratic Congress and the New Patriotic Party, you all claim that you think about the youth.
Sure.
You have incorporated, policies that are tilting towards the youth in your manifestos.
Right.
However, none of you saw the need to appoint any young person into the high office of vice presidential candidate. Rather, the NDC has decided to go in for somebody who is close to 80 years.
Right.
The NPP has also gone in for Napo. Napo, I'm sure, is more than 50 years and all of that. Don't you think that Alan has done what none of the political parties, especially the leading political parties, have been able to do?
I think that if you look at it from that symbolic element of nominating a running mate to be a young person, you may get it wrong. Kwame Nkrumah said that youth is a state of mind. So you can have a 30-year-old person who think in the 80s. Same vein, you can have an 80-year-old person who think in the ages of the 30s. But you see, the NDC had a choice to appoint people on 3 criteria. You could have appointed a young person, a female, or a person with disability. Talk about the specialized interest groups. But we chose to rather appoint a female. So don't forget that as much as we in the NDC never met the criterion of selecting averagely a relatively young person, we cater for a certain special grouping called women in the country. But for the very first time within the 2 major political parties, NDC, MPP, we, the NDC, appointed the first female running mates. And I'm talking here about major parties talk of NDC, MPP. So yes, I agree with you that since 1992, either MPP or NDC has not shown that, that kind of recognition, appointing a relatively young person to be a running mate. But don't also forget that in 2024, the NDC has appointed the first female running mate, and that must also be commendable. In as much as the youth matter, which we agree, and that is why the NDC launched the first youth manifesto titled The Pledge. In as much as you don't have a youthful running mate, we have a specialized tailor-made policy in sync with the youth. But in the same breath, we have also appointed the first female running mate, which the MPP has never done before, and which Movement of Change couldn't do. So Movement of Change do, yes, they've done what non-MPP NDC we have done in the past since 1992. Yes, we agree, but we have also done the standard is on
but the NDC,
but appointing the first female running mate.
Female running mate. They could have appointed relatively somebody who is younger than the age of Nana Jinopo. You have young women in the country. I mean, brilliant ones are
you practically don't change the winning team. Election 2020, the records are there to show that the NDC transitioned from 4.7 million votes in 2016 to 6.3 million votes. Right. The NDC had a chamber parliament. The NDC had a speaker of parliament. So if the team that gave you this resounding vote and encouraging vote are there, why don't you change the winning team? Maintaining Professor Jenano Pukwadman is an endorsement of the fact that the NDC won election 2020. So why then will you change the winning team? I can confidently confide in you that going forward, the NDC may toe the line of what Movement of Change has done. For me, what they have done resonate with me. Because as a young person, I want to have a voice on the table. People do say that the youth are the future leaders of tomorrow. I disagree. We are the future leaders of today. So if Kwame today is going to be with our brother Alan Tremantin to take critical decisions for Movement of Change, it gives Kwame a voice. In similar vein, if a young person becomes part of cabinet, don't forget that the NDC says that in our next government, a chunk of the appointees are going to be young people. So yes, we don't have a young person as a running vice president in the next government, but we're going to have young people serving in various capacity. But what Movement for Change has done is commendable. And I think that all political actors in the country, MPP, my party, NDC, we must emulate, in the sense that in the next government of the NDC, when Mahama serves his term and exit the scene, if you are looking for people to lead the party, if we pick somebody about the age of 60, we must equally pick a relatively young person to partner him. For me, I pat them at the back. It's commendable, and we NDC.
They are manifestos. They say it on campaign platforms without walking the talk. Let's think twice. Somebody has come. He has shown that he thinks about the youth. He has shown that he is ready to make sure that the youth is the center of attraction if he is given the nod. The youth of this country, the youth from 18 years and above, get to know that one of your own has been appointed as a running mate to a certain presidential candidate in this country, and he is the only person who has given us the nod. Let's try as much as possible to make sure that that person is remembered on the 7th of December 2024 at the polls. Now I'll start with you, BOT, on the issue of your planned demonstration. Aren't you tormenting the Electoral Commission too much?
Yes, let me say good evening to the rank and file of the NDC.
Right.
Specifically with the flabber, the running mates, and the national chairman currently in the central part of the country, and all other splinter campaign teams working in various sectors, the youth wing, honored by lawyer George Opariado, where this campaign team touring the length and breadth of the country, the national women wing equally working around. I must admit, I'm very proud of the youth wing and the women wing. I'm not a fan of social media hype. I love people who descend, go down, and work.
Very well.
And Pablo's youth wing has shown the way that the way to win an election is not media hype, but the job day ground. Similarly to the women organizer who has shown the same dexterity. Likewise, the national organizer, Honorable Joseph Yamin, he's been crisscrossing the country working around. Just there is a certain breeding concern that we need to touch on.
What's that
concern? There is a campaign being run by the parliamentary candidate of the MPP for Asojaman.
Okay.
In the person of Pius Enam Hedaji, what is the name? Hajide.
Right.
And I'm saying this so because I want all watchers to pay attention to the gentleman. He's running a dirty and a dangerous campaign. Look, I've gotten the opportunity to watch 2 of his videos.
Right.
One talking about the fact that when people vote for him, he will use his office to take people to US for election for World Cup 2026. And this is crap. Look, you know why? You don't put yourself in that position of matters of visa scandal and visa fraud. Have you watched that video?
But he's worsening his own situation. I watched it.
I'm coming there. You remember there was an Australian visa scandal?
Scandal, yes.
This guy was thoroughly investigated and cleared by the clearing agent, His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo. 2 years later, this gentleman who was reshuffled from the sports ministry to the youth authority as the CEO goes to a soldier man to campaign and tells the people that there's going to be World Cup in 2020. Do you know why God would not let Ghana qualify? Because of such mindset. It's so dirty, so primitive, dogmatic, and cruel. And I'm urging all like-minded people, the sports enthusiasts, those people in the sport fraternity watching me today on Pan-African TV, call that guy to order. You know why? Ghana has a supporters union who are destined and designated to make sure that they mobilize themselves to support people genuinely on grounds of meritocracy. You have a parliamentary candidate who has an Australian visa scandal hanging around his albatross on his neck. It is not even cleared. He takes the microphone and the podium and tells the people that when you vote for me, I'll repeat Australia #2 in 2026. If the people of Asojaman, let me say this with all passion and dispassionate, that if the people of Asojaman made the mistake to vote against this gentleman, I may have to declare a special day of mourning for that constituency. Look, we need people, justice, who will show certain level of integrity and decorum in seeking power. Look, he goes to another secondary school and tell them that if they vote for him, he will make sure that SDR is free. I mean, his campaign as if he has some kind of a mental disorder. I don't know, but I've been monitoring his campaign. And when I watch him, it's like, don't we have elders in MPP? I'm sorry, but hey, MPP, elder, Council of Elders, right? Yes. Call that guy to order. Though he doesn't belong to my political party, the greater NDC. But what that guy is doing is very dangerous. You know why?
Why?
If all parliamentary candidates begin to campaign along that line, this country will crash. I'm begging my people of Asojaman, I may have to visit that constituency to campaign for our parliament, our MP. Because the campaign he's running is so dangerous, so dirty. I don't know how to describe it. That is just by the...
But with the issue of procuring visas to people, or for people to travel and then go and watch the World Cup or whatsoever.
He never said that. He said to go and make money and bring it home.
No problem. No problem.
He escalated it.
Don't you think that that's even a more reason why we need to revisit the visa racketeering issue? That happened, which was at the center of it.
I said on your show last month that the NDC will not engage in witch hunting.
Right.
But if there are witches, we shall hunt them.
Okay.
I repeat.
Is it going to be part of
the next
this
NDC government will not, shall not engage in witch hunting. But justice, if in broad daylight we have incontrovertible evidence that you are a witch, we shall hunt you. I never brought pious out. By their own utterances, we shall judge them.
Right.
The name of the game is evidence. When you read the evidence acts, he who alleges must prove. If we allege that this guy was engaged in that act, he's going to a soldier man to corroborate it. So the evidence to confirm that he was involved in that, and he said it to the people that I did it with the Australia one. When they get to US, I will make sure that your children go and make money and bring it back to take care of you. And people were clapping. It is unacceptable. And I want to call all civil society, sports enthusiasts, like-minded people, the Council of Elders or the MPP, call this man to order before he brings the nation down. Don't forget that CAF, FIFA, they are watching him. And a day may come, they may see Ghana as a country whereby in terms of such tournament, they are going to enroll people to the country who do not deserve it. That's just by the way.
Right.
Now let me come to the Electoral Commission of Ghana.
Okay.
Let me take this opportunity to commend
you. Have 10 minutes.
Thank you so much. This is my day.
Right.
This topic is for the NDC. We may bring in the butterfly as an addendum.
The 10 minutes includes the opening remarks.
Oh, but this is my day.
I'll give you the rest of it.
This is my day because this is the NDC day. We're only entertaining the butterfly because we don't want you to fly so high. Your last one is too short, so bear with us. Thank you. Let me commend the national chairman of the NDC. For some time now, many people were so disenchanted and thought that there was going to be a repetition of election 2020.
Right.
Whereby we go into election, we are a bit short-changed, people are short. And it started when he said that the NDC would not sign any peace pacts. He earned my respect from that point. Just as you know why. You know, currently I've adopted 16 constituencies across the country. Techiman South happens to be one. I've been to Techiman South 6 consecutive times, 6. One of the major turbulent issues affecting the party grassroots is how people were shot, people were maimed in election 2020. And guess what? When the government was bringing compensation to those 6 people, he paid them only 45,000 per person, amounting to 275,000. That was insulting to the people of Techiman South.
Right.
So imagine if people of Techiman South wake up one day, then the leadership of the NDC goes to Peace Council, sign another peace part to say that, come with me, we accept the verdict of that election. The people will not take you serious. So when the national chairman of the NDC took a bold decision and registered the displeasure of the party that we aren't going to sign any peace part, he earned my utmost respect from that angle. And not only me alone, but a lot of civil society said that he was on right course, including CDD, etc. In fact, the rank and file of the party and the grassroots were energized. Transition beyond the not signing the peace part. Our national chairman goes to file the nomination for NDC and John Dramani Mahama and pay the fees for all the 276 pieces of the NDC and says that, hey, on 17 September 2024, all the 16 regional offices of the EC, every right-thinking Ghanaian voice of conscience, not only NDC alone, we must take a mammoth demonstration to register our displeasure. And justice, the national chairman says so, premised on Article Chapter 7 of the 2022 Constitution, Article 42. It reads, and I quote, every citizen of Ghana of 18 years of age or above and of sound mind has the right to vote and is entitled to register as a voter for the purposes of public elections and referenda. So our national chairman invoked this particular constitutional proviso, which is the right to vote. That is cast in stone of the 1992 Constitution. Justice, I take you to Article 45, Clause A, B, C, D, E, and F, functions of the Electoral Commission of Ghana. Among the very functions of the EC, one that is so paramount to the NDC is Article 45, Clause G. It reads, and I quote, the Electoral Commission of Ghana shall have the following functions. A, to compile the register of voters and revise it at such period as may be determined by law. B, to demarcate the electoral boundaries for both national and local government elections. C, to conduct and supervise all public election and referenda. D, to educate the people on the electoral process and its purposes. The E is the most important one to the NDC.
Right.
To undertake the program for the expansion of the registration of voters. The underlying word here, the key word is expansion.
Right.
So when the Electoral Commission of Ghana arrogate to itself the power to constrict the voter register, it doesn't find favor with Article 45, Clause C of the 1992 Constitution. And also, Article 46 of the same Constitution, except as otherwise provided in this Constitution or in any other law, not inconsistent with the Constitution, in the performance of its functions, the Electoral Commission shall not be subject to direction or control of any person or authority. Justice, let me make it clear to the EC. The Electoral Commission of Ghana has absolute independence but not absolute autonomy. I repeat, the Electoral Commission of Ghana, the whole arrogance on the pride on the part of the Electoral Commission stems from Article 46, that caption, independence of the Electoral Commission of Ghana. The fact that you're independent doesn't mean you are autonomous. Simply because power comes from the people. Just as when you read Article 1 of the Constitution of Ghana, it reads, and I quote, the sovereignty of Ghana resides in the people of Ghana, in whose name and for whose welfare the powers of government are to be exercised in the manner and within the limit laid down in this Constitution. And there is a part that is so interesting to me. The Constitution shall be the supreme law of Ghana, and any other law found to be inconsistent with any provision of this Constitution shall, to the extent of the inconsistency, be void. So when you have an Electoral Commission that begin to transfer vote, that the explicit tacit approval of the people involved, such an Electoral Commission chairperson must go to jail. It's a criminal offense. But here is the case: you have the system clothing her, protecting her. I'm not too old, I'm not too young, but I witnessed Dr. Farijan, a dinosaur when it comes to matters of election in the country, in fact globally. I witnessed Charlotte Osei, whose tenure as an electoral commissioner, everybody saw what the legacy she left. And I have witnessed Jen Mensah. And if I'm supposed to rate Jen Mensah, I'll give her 0.5 over 100. Very abysmal, intransigent, not encouraging, very confrontational. And it seemed to suggest to her that without her, the Electoral Commission of Ghana cannot run. Let me avert her mind to the fact that her powers emanate from this constitution I'm holding. And Article 1, Clause A, subsection 2, is clear. Sovereignty resides to the people. Right. And today, how dare you transfer people's vote from one constituency, one region to the other, without the tacit approval and the knowledge of the people involved? It's a criminal offense. So if the national chairman of the NDC give the green light that every Tom, Dick, and Harry, every rank and file, and every voice of conscience, and this goes to the butterfly movement, they have to join. It must not be only the clarion call for the NDC, because if the register is bloated, if it's tampered with, it has no integrity. It doesn't only affect NDC, it affects every right-thinking person.
But the EC acknowledges that, yes, those things happened, but those are errors they are correcting. And once they are done correcting those errors, they will make sure that the register is made available to all the political parties. So why are you in a haste to embark on a demonstration?
Just as you see, I read the book titled Ola Rotimi, The Gods Are Not to Blame.
Great.
And among all literature books I've read so far, it is one of the most interesting one that I love most. The title itself is clear. The gods are not to blame. Ola Rotimi said one thing, that a meat with oil is proven by the heat of fire. When a meat has oil, you don't show by your eye, by your mouth, but when you subject it to the intensity of heat, it proves it. Election 2020 is a wake-up call to everybody. Look, Afarijan Charlotte said Jen Mensah, never in the history of this country that we had an electoral commission chairperson declaring presidential election results 6 times. Never did it happen in the history of this country. So as you are seated today, nobody knows which one was gazetted, which one is the true reflection of the people verdict. So if you have such an electoral commission chairperson who come to tell you to believe him or her, you do so, then you can sell Satan to every religion in this country. I am tempted to believe that the clarion call by the national chairman is valid, is conscionable, is born out of common sense, born out of logic and wisdom. And I want to urge every NDC member watching me, let's pour ourselves on the street. Election is a process, not an event. So if you want to sit in your constituency, electoral area, zone, ward, region, and think that it might be a battle by John Dramani Mahama, it's a joke. In fact, when His Excellency was in the Bruno region a few days ago, he validly endorsed and corroborated the position of the national chairman that every right-thinking Ghanaians, and I want to elevate the discussion beyond the NDC, Ghanaians must not see this wake-up call as an NDC call. So the butterfly on my left-hand side here, they must join the call. The GUM must join the call. LPG must join the call. Other than that, some of us will be tempted to believe that all the other splinter parties, so to speak, are appendages to the MPP. You know why? If it's only the NDC raising the concerns, what of Movement for Change? What of LPG? What of GUM? What of Chada? So all those other parties, if the voter register is bloated, what simply mean that the result is known in advance. But if we can all team up, there's a guy called Marco Cicero. He said that always advance your own level of argument, but when you meet a much more superior one, drop yours. The other splinter party should look at the position of the national chairman that it is what we must all fight for. Because today, if we fight for a cleaner register, one with integrity, one we can confide in, one we can trust, and the election is won free, square, and fair, and the butterfly even cannot fly, you have a space in the political arena.
Right, can you step down?
So I think that the National Democratic members, financiers, whatever, everybody, on 17th, which is on Tuesday, let us pour out on the street of Ghana. And you know why I am happy? It is decentralized. So you don't need to carry yourself all the way from Upper West to Accra. Demonstrate in your region and let the EC recognize that the power to run the election emanates from the sovereignty of the people.
Right, thank you so much, BOT, for your submission. Also, I'll come to...
Thank you for staying tuned. PENDREAM TV really appreciates your time. Please, if today being the first time on the channel, please don't log out without subscribing to the channel. Please do so for us. Hit the notification bell, turn it to all posts so that you'll be the first to receive any content loaded onto the channel. You can't afford to lose the good news going around. This is the only place to receive the better gist about politics. Please do subscribe. before logging out. Thank you.
Dedi kama mamena PENDREAM TV ase. Na so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Ah nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.